Welcome back to Swift with Serhan, everyone. So this is the second part of the payment card bootcamp of the series with SwiftUI. Okay, as you remember, at the first episode, we have implemented our custom text field. Also mentioning about, talking about the custom text field, I want to make a comment here, increase the tappable area of the text field. Basically, when we give a content shape to a view, it increases the tappable area of the view. Okay, so secondly, we have implemented our card model. Basically, our card model is binded in the content view for each custom text field where it is, the related, such as a card number, card name, and etc. At this point, there is nothing fancy about the UI, and also it is important to it's important for me to emphasize that in my previous episode I said we are going to implement the focused annotation for our text field. As you know, you can use an annotation. Actually, it's a modifier, focus modifier, and then you can set the binding as a boolean with the focus state where it is focused. For example, if it is focused on the name text field, we are going to set it as a name. But in my previous episode, I mentioned about that I was going to implement the jumping the text fields. For example, when we are done with the card name, we would automatically jump into card number. Basically, we would automatically jump into card name. That will not be the case for this series, actually, for this example, because we need to know active field, because on the card, as I mentioned at the beginning of the series 1, when we select a field, text field, we are going to have a rounded rectangle on the card, which is an active, and then it will be focused specifically for this field on the card. So it is what basically what I meant to say is that we can implement both logic at the same time, but it's gonna make our example complicated. So for now, I want to focus on when the actual text field is, for example, is a number or name. It's gonna active field is going to be either number or name, and etc. So with that said, let's create our enum. Okay, let's create our enum. So we can say active field. You will understand by the time comes. When the time comes, you will understand why we are using this. Case none, so nothing has been selected. Case name, none is going to be used for the initial state of the focus state. Okay, case number, case month, case year, and case CVV, security code. I forgot to mention about the CVV. As you know, it's a 3-digit security code behind back of our ATM cards or credit cards. So for the beginning, we will use focus state private var active field, which is none. Okay, so basically in this case, initialize are required. Focus state private variant. Okay, let's make it actually optional for now, so that the Xcode will stop yelling at us. At this point, it's important to know Focus State was introduced with SwiftUI, and it is available on iOS 15 and onwards. When the text field is focused, for example, we can track the as in the UI kit, we were checking is first responder actually. With the focus state, we can track which field is active. Okay, so it is very handy annotation property wrapper basically. It's really important if you are building a login page or registration page, or for example if you have a long form for your users to fill it up. It's really important to understand the focus state, how it works, and etc. Obviously this will be the main one of the main purpose of our example here. I'm going to show you how we implement it, but I would like to show you one more thing. When we go to Medium profile of mine, okay, under the stories of mine, I will leave the link below. You will see an article written about SwiftUI forms and validations with validation rule protocol, and also SwiftUI forms with validation. There are two articles about Swift validations. I want to show you a very quick implementation about focus. Okay, let's search for it. So focus field, we have a text field on submit. We can when it is submitted, basically we can change the focus field, and then make it as a here as it is written here as an email. So when we are in the name, it will automatically switch to email. Okay, so I will see if I have enough time, or at the end of the series, when I cover the main topic, if I can implement this functionality as well. Okay, so far so good. So the focus state parameter or property is instantiated here, and let's jump into implementation then. So what we're gonna do is here we will say focused. Okay, if the focused part, I mean the parameter is gonna obviously track it's gonna track the change. If the active field is number, the active field, if it is the number, it's gonna be a true. Okay, the active field will be true. Actually, as you can see, it is a binding, and if it is equal to this value, this will be true. So as I said, also it's important to know that we need this active field in order to jump between the on the card, in order to jump between the fields, and then circulate round with the rounded frame of each field. Anyway, I will explain everything by the time comes. For now, please focus on what we are building. We are adding the focus field, focus modifier for our each component, for our each text field. Here I would like to say the keyboard type will be number pad, because as we know, every time the card number is going to be only numbers, only digits, not any string. Okay, so it's gonna be focused. This one is gonna be focus active field if it is equals to name. Okay, also here as well, focused. Let me copy and paste the previous annotation here. Okay, so and we're gonna change the equals to. It's gonna be CVV. This one is going to be year, and this one is going to be month. So far, so good. So we implemented our focused state. Okay, and then when the parameter changes, actually we can see it will be changed. So let's define on change annotation here. Modifier. I say annotation, but please, I meant to say is that modifier active field, and let's print them out. Actually, we need to use the closure parameters, new value and in, and let's print them. Okay, alt value. Yes, describing because it is string describing because it's an enum, so it will print the raw values for us. Let's run our application in iOS 17 and see if it is printing. Actually, I could have do it here, but I want to also run it on simulator to show you that it is basically changing. Okay, let it build and run. It's taking some time, obviously, and so here are the form. So when we click on card number, we should be able to see on change. Let's filter the alt value is nil, new value is number. So at the beginning it was nil. Okay, so it is correct, it's working fine. But let's jump into the name field as well so that we can see it has changed. Simulator card name, and when we go back to Xcode, you will see the old number was number, old value was number, new value is name. So our active field focus state is working correctly. When we switch between the text fields, we can see the values are changing. So far, so good. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me a message. I'm happy to. I will be more than happy to explain you. As a second step, now we are going to implement the prefixing. Okay, so because when I say prefixing, actually when we start writing on the card number field, let me go to simulator since we are running on the card number field, we want to group our card number 4x4 as I mentioned, and also not allow user to enter more than 16 digit. And the card name, we don't have any restriction on name obviously, but for month we can still enter more than more than 2 characters digits, so we will restrict that as well, and it applies to CVV. Without further ado, please jump into our content view, and then now it's time to understand why we implemented on change closure in our custom text field. So our next step is to create a new folder, extensions. Okay, we're gonna have string plus extensions file, and what we're gonna do is extension string. We're gonna define a string in order to basically group our text for the given count. Okay, you will see groups characters by inserting separator every count characters. Okay, let's define our function group. So what we're gonna have the character as a parameter for the function. Also, we are going to have the count. The user will enter the, we will define the, not user, we will define the count. Okay, so here, step 1, we're gonna remove existing group characters from original string. Okay, and then we're gonna have let clean text self dot replace occurrence string, because we're gonna convert character to string with with an empty string. Okay, so it's gonna be what is the problem? Missing important foundation. Okay, we're gonna import foundation. Import foundation. Step 2, prepare new string where we manually insert the group character var grouped. It's gonna be empty string, and for index of car in clean text enumerated, so we will iterate each character with the index. If index not equal to 0 and index divided by count is remaining is 0, we're gonna have grouped append the character. Okay, so what is this? What it does, I will make a comment here. Insert the grouping character before the next chunk except at the start. Okay, so it's important to know that we are actually inserting the group character before the next chunk. Okay, so and group dot append char. Okay, so you are going to insert here the actual character, and after the for loop we are going to return grouped string. Okay, so here I hope you understand the logic. Basically what we are doing, we are replacing the occurrence of the character and preparing a new string for group string, and if it's not if the index is not 0 and index can be divided by count and remaining number is 0, we are going to append the character. Okay, if this is not the case, we are going to append the real character. So I will actually debug this for you to understand in better way. So let's jump into our card number field to make it to use. I mean, let's show how we're gonna use it. So card dot number. So we are now inside the on change closure, card dot number group. Okay, so what character are we going to grouping with the empty string, and count will be 4, and we're gonna have prefix 19. Okay, so here we're gonna have a 19 prefix. The reason why we are gonna have the 19 prefix is just because of limiting the number of digits to maximum of 16, adding the space for each 4-digit group. Okay, so 16 digit plus 3 spaces. Let's give it a try, and then I can explain you what does group do, and then we can debug it actually. Okay. So let's enter 1, and the character is with the empty string, count is 4, and let's see what is the group 1 is returning. Only 1, obviously. Here I will disable the debugger, and then we will continue entering 3 digits. Okay, so that you can understand 2, 3, and I will enable the debugger to see the 4th character, how it's going to behave. 4th character. Okay, so is it going to be, is it index, if it's not index 0, yes. Is it the count can be divided, index is can be divided count. In this case no. Okay, so we are returning the 1, 2, 3, 4, and when we enter the 5th character, index will be 4. So 4 divided by 4 equal to 0. So it will insert the character. Okay, which is defined here actually. We want an empty string character, a space actually between the digits. So let's jump into card number and enter one more character. And when we enter the character, actually the digit from the keyboard, it's going to check whether it is the index is 0. No. Can 0 be divided by 0? No. I mean, it's a mathematical error. 4 divided by 4, remaining is 0. So our character is empty string, enter empty string and return grouped, which is actually, when you can, now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, an empty string and 4. So now let's see how our UI looks like. You see, so we do have the empty string between 4 and 4. Let's see 8, 7, 9 and enter 2. So it added one more space, and now separation of the separation of the 16 digits are done for the card number, and also we restricted our input with the 16 digit. Okay, so as I said, for the card name we don't have anything special. Okay, so we are not gonna add anything on change of the card name, but in future we can add more validation depending on our needs. For example, maybe you will have a view model and you want to validate the form. Okay, for the month again we don't have a group, because for month it is only 2 digits, so we don't need to use the group extension, okay, that we created. What we're gonna do is just we're gonna have card.month is equal to string cart.month prefix 2. So what does it mean? Get first two numbers, okay? And in this case, I want to switch between the field. I want to change the active field basically. If the cart number is count is basically 2, and we are going to instantiate the active field as year. Okay, so in this case we can do what we can do is just we can automatically switch from month to year, and active field will become a year. Okay, so this applies to also this rule applies to year as well. Just we're gonna make sure that you change this to the year. Okay, and for CVV, what we're gonna do is just we're gonna have prefix as free, because it will be 3 digits. Okay, when we run the application we will test to see what's going on. Let's jump with, yes, simulator is on. So card number, now we are adding space for each 4 character. We don't have any restriction on card name. And 12, you see, when we entered 2 characters, 2 digits into month, automatically it's switched to year because of this if statement here. Okay, so for the CVV we want the 3 characters, so it allows us only to enter 3 characters. So far we achieved the active field. Changes as the name changes, as the text field changes. For example, old value, new value, we print it out, we saw that it's working. Again, let's old value, new value. So the old value was for the last for example it was year, and the last value, which is a new value, it is CVV. So we switched from the year to CVV. We have seen how to implement this. We are going to use this actual active field in the following videos. That's why I have implemented it right now. And also we have seen a simple example how we can switch from month to year if the count of month is 2. And also we have covered with prefix method, prefix extension basically, and we are restricting the user to import more than one insert actually more than 3 characters. So it's a limitation, it's kind of a validation, let's say. And so far also we have seen how on-change closure helped us to achieve this, and so far so good. This is the end of episode 2. At the next episode I will be covering how we are going to implement the cart and how we are going to flip between back and forth when the text field changes. As we know, card number, card name, month and year takes place in the front of the card, but CVV at the back of the card. So we will flip the card depending on our active field. Okay, that's why active field is important in this episode to include in the project, and I hope you could follow up to this point. And please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I'm looking forward to include episode 3 for the card implementation. Thank you for listening.